When you find the bay to park, for purposes of this exercise we call it the target bay. In your target bay I call the two parallel lines, the approach line, and the departure line. The approach line is the first line of your target bay as you approach it. The departure line is the second line of your target bay. This will be our line of reference for our lines counting. From a distance, it is critical that you start the lines counting at this stage and not while you are in front of your target bay, because there is a great chance that you will be steering to the left as you count or accidentally hitting parked vehicles. So, count 3 lines forward including your departure line as you can see in the video. At a point of 1 meter across the front edge of your third line, on the road, make a reference point as your marker, because that is the point where you must roll over your left front tire. Next, put on your left signal indicator, then start to brake appropriately and approach your target bay very slow. Keep the signal on to let everyone know your directional intention. Approach 1 meter from the edges of the bay lines in a straight manner. Hold your steering wheel straight but not tight. Focus on your marker as you approach. You will no longer see this once you are in front of your third line. When in front of your third line, align the frame of your left side mirror to the line, not the mirror. To achieve this, you need to hug the steering wheel close to your chest. Stop at this point and ensure you are still signaling left. If in case it turned off, put the left signal back on. Put your gear shift lever to reverse position. Do not move. Check your rear view mirror for traffic behind. In the event a vehicle is close behind you, do not move. Let it overtake or wait till the driver gives you enough space for you to reverse. Now check both your side mirrors for vehicles and pedestrians. Check your left blind spot for pedestrians. Check your right blind spot for pedestrians and vehicles that might be moving out from parking bays across to your right. When it is safe to do so, turn your head over your left shoulder and keep it there looking at the back windscreen and the left passenger window. Steer to the left and simultaneously gently easing your brake to move your vehicle very, very slowly as you reverse. Keep steering to the left in a medium-fast pace until it goes full on lock. Hold it there while you are moving back. Check intermittently your right side mirror to monitor your distance to the parked vehicle next to your bay and not accidentally reversing onto it. Side glance to your left side mirror to check the parked vehicle to your left. Looking at your left side mirror, the gap between the side of your vehicle and the corner of the vehicle to your left should be 1 foot apart. Lesser than that, you end up parking very close to your left. Wider than 1 foot, you end up parking very close to your right. If there is no vehicle parked to your left, looking on your left side mirror you must roll over the edge of your left side line to come up parking on the center of your bay. Now, check in front whether you are already facing straight up. If not yet, reverse a bit more until you are facing straight up front. When satisfied, stop your vehicle and steer to the right 1.5 revolutions of the steering wheel. Hold it there. Do not steer any other way unless necessary. Again, turn your head over your left shoulder at the back windscreen to monitor your distance to the vehicle behind, or might be a wall, a fence, or a tree, etc. Move your vehicle very slowly a bit more backward. Note: so you have a better estimation to what is behind, and to achieve better leverage, put your left arm on top of the front passenger backrest as if pushing it forward. Right hand holding the steering wheel. Raise your torso up so you are no longer seating, but still pressing appropriately on the brake pedal. At a comfortable position, stop your vehicle. You should be parked right at the center of your bay. Now, how do you know that your vehicle is not sticking out front or not sticking out at the back? To achieve this, for a normal car length, look under the frame of your right side mirror. If you see the front end of your right side line just under the frame of the mirror, then you are not sticking out front and back. It is good. If you do not see the front end of the line, then you are parked deep behind. On the other hand, If you see there is a big gap between the bottom frame of the right side mirror and the front end of the line, then you are sticking out front. Another way is just estimate that your vehicle's front end is not sticking out of the parking bay. Then, it should be inside, just right and enough. Do not copy the positions of your neighboring vehicles, as they could be parked too deep behind or too out front. Keep practicing this until you get confident, and then you can move on to the front to curb or 90 degrees forward parking. When approaching the stationary vehicle on which you are to do the reverse parallel parking, focus on the part of the road next to the stationary vehicle where you will initially stop your vehicle. Estimate 1 meter on the road from the right rear tire of the stationary vehicle. As a point of reference, you could look for a line crack on the road, a leaf, a twig, a paper, a rock, anything visible to you. Note, why the 1 meter? Because it is a safe width in case a person inside the vehicle opens one of the right side doors as you pass it. Use that reference to roll on the left side of your vehicle for your initial stop. At least 30 meters from the stationary vehicle, put on your left signal indicator, then start braking, holding appropriate pressure on the brake pedal to slow down. Keep the left signal on. It will cancel automatically at a later stage during the execution of the parking. Check your left blind spot. Focus on your 1 meter reference on the road as you approach the stationary vehicle. Note, do not stare on the side of the stationary vehicle, because you could approach very, very close to it. As you are approaching very slowly and getting next to the vehicle, there are several techniques to focus on in order to ultimately achieve the correct reverse parallel parking. Here are 2. A. Align your vehicle's rear passenger backrest to the rear end of the stationary vehicle. This is a standard technique, whatever the length of the stationary vehicle might be. B. Or, if the stationary vehicle is a car, align the frame of your left side mirror with the back end of the stationary vehicle driver's door, between the driver's door and its rear passenger door behind. Come to a complete stop at one of those 2 points. As a guide, try both techniques and pick the one that is comfortable to you. Keep on using that technique until you are confident before trying the other one. Keep holding the brake while still signaling left. Put the gear shift lever to reverse position. Check the following: your rear view mirror for approaching motorist, your right side mirror, in case a motorist is close, do not move, your right blind spot for pedestrians, people who could be right next to you, and the driveways across the road to your right as a vehicle might be reversing out from them. When it is safe to do so, steer to the left 1 full revolution of the steering wheel. Hold the steering wheel at that point with both hands. Turn your head over your left shoulder and keep it there, looking at the back windscreen and the back left window. Do not stare in front during this parking. Note, to achieve a better back view and leverage, you might want to press your left shoulder onto your backrest and your back no longer resting on the backrest. Ease your foot from the brake pedal, but not lifting it, so your vehicle starts to move very slowly backward at a crawling pace. Notice on the back windscreen that your vehicle is now moving to the left. Note, it is critical to control the very, very slow movement of your vehicle during this parking. At this stage, side glance, but do not stare, at the small convex mirror on the left side mirror as your vehicle moves backward. Pick from one of the 2 techniques to look at. A. On the small convex mirror, align your vehicle's front passenger's door handle to the curb behind, or B. Align the frame of your left side mirror to the rear right corner of the stationary vehicle, at a 45-degree angle. Come to a complete stop. Steer to the right 2 full revolutions. Your left signal will automatically turn off at this point. It is not required to put it back on again at this stage. Continue turning your head over your left shoulder, looking at the back windscreen. Ease your foot from the brake pedal, but do not lift it fully, so your vehicle starts to move very, very slowly backward. Notice on the back windscreen your vehicle should be moving to the right. Alternatingly, Side glance, but do not stare at the small convex mirror on the left side mirror as your vehicle moves backward. On that small convex mirror, your vehicle's left side panel should now be straight and parallel to the curb at the bottom and sitting on top of the gutter. Note: you should no longer see the black bitumen road on the small convex mirror. Stop the vehicle smoothly and easily. Do not reverse to 7 meters or more from the vehicle in front, as you will fail in the driving test. You must likewise imagine there is a vehicle parked behind you. Note: even if there is no vehicle parked behind, do not reverse far so you do not hit your imaginary vehicle behind. You are allowed 4 directional movements in the reverse parallel parking set of the driving test. A directional movement count is when you change your gear shift lever from drive to reverse or vice versa, then moving your vehicle. At this point, steer to the left 1 full revolution of the steering wheel. Hold it there. Move the gear shift lever to drive position. This should be your second movement. Lift your body up from your seat and move yourself forward, almost hugging the steering wheel to your chest so you see your bonnet and the gap between your vehicle and the vehicle in front. Ease the pressure on the brake, but not lifting off your foot, so the car moves forward very, very slow. Come to a complete stop at a gap of 1 meter between the front end of your vehicle and the rear end of the vehicle in front of you. You must estimate that 1 meter gap. Move the gear shift lever to park position. Keep on applying enough pressure on the brake pedal. If you need to shut down the engine, lift the handbrake up and turn to off the ignition key. You may now lift your foot from the brake pedal. If your engine is off, turn it on. While pressing enough pressure on the brake pedal, move the gear shift lever to reverse. Note: on automatic gear shift, the gear shift will not move unless you apply enough pressure on the brake pedal. Turn your head over your left shoulder and keep it there, looking at the back windscreen. Ease lightly your foot from the brake pedal so your vehicle moves slowly backwards. Ensure you do not scratch the curb with your tires. Now, look back to the front to check whether you have enough space to move your vehicle out. When you have enough space to comfortably move off, press the brake lightly to a complete stop. Move the gear shift lever to drive. Turn on right signal indicator. Keep it on for at least 5 seconds before you move your vehicle. Do not put the signal on until you move the gear shift to drive, as there is a tendency to forget on it. Check your rear view mirror, your right side mirror and your right blind spot, ensuring there is no motorist or pedestrian. You may do this step while you are counting the 5-second signaling requirement. Ensure there is no oncoming motorist on the opposite lane, if the road is narrow, and behind you on the lane you are joining onto. If there is, wait until it is safe to move off. Steer to the right but not to a full-on lock. Hold the steering wheel. Ease your foot from the brake and move your vehicle slowly while looking at the vehicle parked in front, ensuring you don't hit it. Should you need to accelerate to move, do so but at a light and controlled pressure, like tapping on it only. When the front of your vehicle is clear of the right-hand corner of the vehicle in front, come to a complete stop. Double-check your right side mirror and your blind spot to ensure no motorist is approaching while still holding the steering wheel to the right. Once it is safe to do so, move your vehicle forward a bit more, then steer back to the left, ensuring not to hit the other vehicle, and simultaneously lift your foot from the brake. Ease your grip on the steering wheel, then accelerate gently to let the steering wheel spin back to the right by itself. Alternatively, pull the steering wheel back to the right. Straighten your vehicle on the center of your lane. Pick a safe spot on the side of the road in the distance, about 40-50 meters. Put on left signal indicator. Start to brake gently to reduce your speed to slow down your approach. Control your braking pressure. Check your rear view mirror, your left side mirror and left blind spot to ensure there is no motorist or pedestrian. Look back in front where you chose to stop. Start steering gently to the left. Focus on the center of the bonnet, if you can see it. Or, focus on the bottom right of center of the windscreen. Hold steering to the left. Align the center of the bonnet or the bottom right of center of the windscreen to the curb or just past the curb through the trajectory of your vision. When aligned and still braking, at a crawling speed, steer to the right a bit to straighten the tires and the position of the vehicle. When the position is straight, stop the vehicle while still holding the brake. Do not lift your foot from the brake. Lift up the handbrake. Push the gear shift lever to park position. Cancel the signal indicator. Shut off the engine, where required. Pick a safe spot on the side of the road in the distance, about 40-50 meters. Put on left signal indicator. Start to brake gently to reduce your speed to slow down your approach. Control your braking pressure. Check your rear view mirror, your left side mirror and left blind spot to ensure there is no motorist or pedestrian. Look back in front where you chose to stop. Start steering gently to the left. Focus on the center of the bonnet, if you can see it. Or, focus on the bottom right of center of the windscreen. Hold steering to the left. Align the center of the bonnet or the bottom right of center of the windscreen to the curb or just past the curb through the trajectory of your vision. When aligned and still braking, at a crawling speed, steer to the right a bit to straighten the tires and the position of the vehicle. When the position is straight, stop the vehicle while still holding the brake. Do not lift your foot from the brake. Turn on right signal indicator. The signal must be on for at least 5 seconds before you move your vehicle. While signaling, you may start to check your rear view mirror, your right side mirror and your right blind spot to make sure there is no motorist or pedestrian. Ensure there is no oncoming motorist on the opposite lane and on the lane behind you. If there is, wait. When it is safe to do so, steer to the right and simultaneously easing the pressure on the brake to move your vehicle off across toward the opposite lane or carriageway. Do not accelerate, only if necessary, and do it gently like tapping on it only. Never leave it on top of the accelerator. You must put your foot back on top of the brake and braking gently, not sudden. Keep steering until the steering wheel gets to full on lock position. Note, the idea here is that the vehicle movement is at a crawling pace and controlled. The technique is fast hand steering and slow vehicle movement. While still approaching slowly as close as possible to the curb in front, start to steer back to the left at least one full revolution of the steering wheel. Do not mount the curb. Now, stop steering. Put pressure on the brake and come to a stop position. Do not move the vehicle. Put the gear shift lever to reverse position. Check your rear view mirror and both the left and side mirrors. Turn your head to check your left and right blind spots for pedestrians, bike riders, or any other motorist. Note, in case a motorist is approaching on either carriageway, the NSW rule is that the approaching motorist must stop to let the vehicle doing the three-point turn finish. When it is safe to do so, steer to the left and simultaneously easing the pressure on the brake to move your vehicle. Steer as fast as you can to the left until the steering wheel is full on lock to the left. When your body or you are aligned in the middle of both lanes carriageways, start steering back to the right, at least one revolution of the steering wheel, while reversing slowly and as close as possible to the curb behind. Do not mount the curb. Apply gentle pressure on the brake to stop the vehicle. Put the gear shift lever to drive position. Check the left side of the road first and then the right side to ensure it is safe to move off. Steer easily more to the right while easing the pressure on the brake, then move off. Simultaneously, let go of your grip on the steering wheel and accelerate gently to let the steering wheel spin back by itself. Alternatively, you can steer back gently to the left to straighten up your vehicle.